Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Heather Hope with The Inspired Entrepreneur. Happy Wednesday, guys. December 16th, 2020. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Heather Hope, and I've been teaching the law of attraction since 2007. And primarily focused on Abraham Hicks's work and some other channelers, if you want to call them. One in particular that I adore is Sanaya Roman. And I also really love Bashar. So keep that in mind. I follow the infinite intelligence. I follow, that didn't sound right. Anyway, I wrote a book called The Inspired Entrepreneur. That's where the podcast came from. The idea came all in one thought because I knew months and months ago I wanted to write a book this year and I wanted to start a podcast. And I knew that it was just kind of, in my mind, in the back of my mind for a while. And then through a bunch of thoughts, epiphanies, I realized that I have been writing a book for the past couple of years on my Facebook page. So I put all of the best posts together in a book, and we have 366 days of inspiration for you, for the business owner, for the entrepreneur, for the whatever you do. If you work for yourself, if you represent yourself, this is for you. So you're the inspired entrepreneur. Okay, so the book is on Amazon. You can grab it. I forget sometimes. The link is down below. But I also, I really need to show you guys these books like on video. I need to do something soon because I also wrote 30 Days to Manifest Your Success journal. And this thing it's basically what I do nearly every day. I meditate, I visualize, and I write my news story. I do that. And when I do that for at least 7 days in a row on the same topic, things manifest so fast. It's just a lot of fun. So I wrote this journal. It's 3 months worth of journaling pages to keep you in line, keep you in this whole doing the 3 things every day: meditating, visualizing, and writing, and all on a particular subject. So my thing is focus on an area of something that you want to manifest, something that you want. Like for me, we're moving within the next couple of months to another town that I love. I've loved since I was a kid. I lived a mile away from this town like most of my life, and it's the nicest place in Arizona to live. And so I did this work a couple months ago of living there. And within a few days, within about a week for me, because I do this work constantly, I started attracting ideas. I started attracting the way that we were going to get there, like financially that way, because it is it costs more to live there. So anyway, and I've done this numerous times in the past, and I manifest. For me, it's usually within 7 days. It's really quite magical. So, but in the journal, I have it for 30 days. So there's 3 sets of 30 days of doing this process that I do. So the meditation is just pure meditation. It's not like meditating on a subject. We don't do that. We just meditate. We release resistance, feel good, float away in our body. And then after that, we visualize on the topic that you're focusing on, and then you write about it. So it's about releasing resistance and putting your focus on a particular area for a certain amount of time. So that journal is on Amazon. There's 2 versions of it. It's just the cover is different. I have several different covers that I'm going to put out there. And so you can follow along. So it's in the description. You can grab it. You can look at it at least on Amazon. Okay, guys, let's jump into today's message. Today's the 16th of December, 2020. Focus on one thing that brings you happiness, and the rest will follow. Okay. Every day is about focus, right? It's about focus. Really, how you manifest things is you release resistance, like feeling good, feeling relaxed, not feeling stressed, not feeling anxious, right? It's releasing resistance and focusing on the things that you're manifesting. That's how you manifest. Like that's how you do it. You release resistance. So you stop worrying, you stop stressing, you stop freaking out about things, you stop getting like crazy about everything. That's releasing resistance. And the big letters and you just focus on the things you want. You focus on how you want them to happen. You focus on the daydream. You focus on the visualization. You focus on the things that you want. You don't focus on the things you don't want. You don't focus on the current reality if it's not how you want it to be, right? That's how that's like the easiest way to manifest. Now, I do know people, I know coaches that are like, you have to uncover the unconscious or the unconscious. You know what unconscious means? Go look it up. The subconscious belief systems because you can't blah, 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 blah. It really is so simple. It really is so simple, guys. It is so simple. You don't have to dig into, and these are some of my past clients that do this because I have worked with a lot of coaches, a lot of law of attraction coaches as well. And they're all wrapped up in uncovering, digging up subconscious beliefs and blah, 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 blah. It's like, to me, as a former therapist, I really feel like coaches are doing therapy. Personally, I see way too much of it. So I'm kind of happy to be leaving the coaching field because I never really resonated with coaching, but with the, because, I spent years and years and thousands of hours to become a licensed therapist. And anyway, so let's not go down that road, but I have $250,000 in student loans right now. Maybe that'll go away. That should just vanish. I had a medical bill for $30,000 many years ago. I had this thought yesterday. Hold on. Of years ago, I had surgery and my bill was like 30 grand. And I didn't have health insurance and I didn't have the money to pay for it. And long story short, I was actually in the middle of a bankruptcy to get rid of this debt. I had some other debt too, because I was young. I was like in my early 20s. But at the very end, as I'm doing all the paperwork, getting all the stuff for the bankruptcy, found out that bill vanished. It went away. And I'm like, what? I just thought of this yesterday. I was talking to somebody about healthcare and other countries and socialism and bankruptcy and all this stuff and how much healthcare costs here in America. So anyway, briefly I talked about it and then I got off the subject, and then I remembered, I'm like, Heather, you ended up not having that bill after all. It was like, it took a little while for it to go away, but I was in the process of going bankrupt, which I did because I had a lot of other debt, but it went away. It went away. Like, somehow the state insurance took care of it. I don't know. I don't know. It was like retroactive and blah, blah, blah. I don't even know. It just was not there. When I went to the hospital to get the bill for my bankruptcy, they're like, it's zero. And I'm like, what? I went through with the bankruptcy because I had a lot of other debt, but, and I haven't been in debt since. So, except for my student loans. So we'll see if those can just poof, go away. I rarely ever think about them, but I do bring it up once in a while just to say I do. But anyway, so things can just poof, go away. Things do that. That happens all the time. Things just go away. If you don't put your focus on it or you release the resistance around it, it will go away. Things, people, debt, all kinds of things just vanish. They just vanish from if you stop putting your focus on it. So we talk about this, right? Don't put the focus on things that you don't want. So There you go. So anyway, so we don't have to focus on all the deep demons and all this crap. We don't. Abraham has taught us this many times over, that any beliefs that we hold, like subconsciously, if they're subconscious, then they're not a big enough player emotionally for it to interfere. So let's stop digging things up. I swear to goodness, leave the digging up for the therapist. That's why they went to school. That's why they have a lot of experience. That's why they hold the liability. It's one reason why I got out of the field. The liability got way too crazy. One reason. But they hold all the liability. Let them dig up stuff. That's what they're there for. Coaches, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. It's none of your business. Don't dig up stuff that you can't handle. So, telling you, stay out of it. So focus on one thing that brings you happiness, and the rest will follow. So this is something that I remind myself daily, guys. I remind myself, like, if I'm starting to feel kind of stuck about something, or just like in a certain way that's not like free flowing and wonderful and happy, I remind myself, focus on something that brings you happiness. I tell myself that daily. Focus on something. So I was like, I'll immediately look for my dog. I'll immediately look out the window. I'll see a chipmunk outside. I'll see whatever, the beautiful view outside. I will focus on anything I can. I'll focus, and then I'll feel better. And that's all that matters. That's all you have to do. You don't have to keep digging up stuff. All you have to do is keep redirecting your focus on things that you want, or the things that are beautiful, or the things that bring you happiness. That's all you have to do. You keep doing that, all the other stuff will vanish. Things go away. They're not just buried deep and they're going to surface one day. That's literally not how it works. It's all about vibration. It's all about your focus. Like, you will have a lot of memories still. Things will jolt your memories. That's not a big deal. The big deal is if you go down that rabbit hole and start feeling a certain way. And that you have control over. But, unless you have a lobotomy, right? You're going to have a lot of memories. So, but they're not very easily accessible, usually. There's a lot of things that I don't remember. And looking back, I was always like, growing up, I would always forget. I forgot so many things as a kid. And it's not like, oh, I buried them and they're going to come out one day and it's going to be this awful thing. And so I better go to a therapist now and uncover all that stuff before. No, it doesn't work that way. So I forgot so many things as a kid. I was so conscious of it that it's like I could barely remember the previous year. You know why? Because I didn't focus on it. I just kept moving forward. I've always been a forward thinker. I've always been a forward, like, I'm going there. I've always been like, okay, I've always had my life planned out years in advance. When I was in junior high, I was in, what grade is that? 7th grade. I knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. It came to me when I was 12. I figured it out. I was in the hospital, but I figured out what I wanted to be. So guess what I did for 6 years? I planned out what schools I was going to go to. No, what I did is I planned out what the steps I needed to take to get where I wanted to be. So there was a certain class in my senior year of high school I wanted to take. So back in junior high, I started doing things. I started taking classes and volunteering at a hospital to get to that point so I can get into that one particular class in senior year. Like, I did all these things. I was constantly writing down all the things I was doing, like what semester I would take what class. And I did that all through college too. I was like obsessed with planning, and I achieved it all. Everything I kept planning for and writing down and just constantly visualizing, like I did this all the time. I probably had notebooks full of things of every single semester, every year of high school and college and grad school. I kept doing that, and I accomplished every single thing that I had planned, everything. And I started that in seventh grade. And so I achieved it all. It ended up being really easy. So focus on where you're going, not where you came from. Focus on where you're going. You can focus on all the fun stuff and all the good memories from the past. You can focus on all that. That's fine. But when you focus on all the tragedy and all the crap, so I haven't released my, and I don't know why. I think it's just because I did it and I feel like it's done, but it's not out. Let me know, like write a comment on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page if you want to listen to how I overcame depression I had. Because you will hear, this is like the one time that I spilled, that sounds weird, spilled like how, my growing up and the things that a lot of the things I went through, a lot of the crap I went through as a kid. I just don't talk about it because I don't think about it, because I don't talk about it, because I don't think about it. Do you get that? So when I see when I see people who are like famous authors and writers, and I can name a ton of people, and they keep talking about what they went through because they want to relate to you, they keep reliving a lot of crap. They keep having issues. They keep having anxiety. They keep having depression. They relapse. I see these people all the time, or I used to anyway. I see them have a good life for a while, and then they go down. And then they just struggle because they keep talking about their story. They keep talking about their story because everybody tells them you have to keep talking about your story to relate to people. And everybody's stuck in the same spot. So I don't talk about all the crap that I went through as a kid. It's in my depression podcast episode, though. I haven't released it yet, but it's in there. If I focused on those stories all the time for you to better relate to me, my life would be crap right now. That's how it works. If I kept reliving that, re-talking about that, it's as if it's happening again. So I don't do it. I choose not to. I just don't talk about it. I don't need people to relate to me that deeply for me to live a struggling life. I want to be happy. So for me to be happy, I can't talk about all the crap in my past. And guess what? I forget about it. And it's like I live a new life. It's like I feel like I've been looking back at the last 10 years or so of how my life has changed and the different people that I used to be friends with or used to date or used to whatever. And I realized how much it almost starts feeling like a quantum shift because I'm so different now than I was just a few years ago. I'm so different now than 3 or 4 years ago. My life is so much different now because I keep focusing on where I'm going and what I want. And I let go of all the other stuff. I just don't bring it along with me. Okay, so focus on one thing that brings you happiness and the rest will follow in that moment, right? Because it's law of attraction. So if you focus on a pretty sunset, you're going to feel good. And then that will attract even more stuff. Like I sat here at my desk a few days ago. Usually the sun sets and the sun is so bright in my office and it gets really hot in here. So I always shut my blinds. But a few days ago, it was raining. It was overcast, so it wasn't hot. The sun wasn't intense, and the sun went down, and the sun set. So my blinds weren't shut because it wasn't hot in here. So I got to see the sunset, and it started off just a little bit pretty, just a little bit. And then the more I focused on it, the more I appreciated it, the more insane that sunset got. My perception of it changed. Like it just kept getting better and better and better. And I kept calling my husband back in. I'm like, look at this. It just keeps getting better and better. And it was really cool because I was able, because my lines were open and I was able to appreciate it, it got better and better and better and better, like mind blowing better. And it's like, gosh, this is so cool. Those type of moments, like things just keep getting better. The more you focus on the good, the more good will happen. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye bye.